Good morning, children. Welcome to online class. So I have started with the physics lesson, that is motion. Today I am going to start with the topic graphical representation of motion. Graphical representation of motion is a graph and it's a pictorial representation of relation between the sets of data, in that one set is dependent variable and the other is of independent variables. Okay, so in the displacement time graph, displacement is a dependent quantity taken from the y-axis and the time is taken in x-axis as it is a independent. Okay, if an object has an equal displacement in equal intervals of time, then the graph is a straight line inclined with the x-axis, which represents uniform motion. If graph is curved, it represents non-uniform motion. So now we come to the distance time graph. The change in the position of a body with time can be represented on the distance time graph. In this graph, distance is taken on the y-axis and the time is taken on the x-axis. You can see clearly in the slide, children. The distance time graph for uniform speed is a straight line, that is linear. This is because in uniform speed, a body travels equal distance in equal intervals of time. That is nothing but the uniform speed or a uniform motion. So we can determine the speed of the body from the distance time graph. For the speed of the body between the points A and B, distance is S2 minus S1, that is the initial distance and final distance, and time is T2 minus T1, that is final time to reach that point and the initial time when it is started. So that the equation is V is equal to S upon T, nothing but V is equal to, in the place of S you can substitute the distance traveled, both the distance, that is S2 minus S1 divided by both the time taken, that is T2 minus T1. So you can substitute the values of the given distance and time, so you'll get the velocity. So this is the distance time graph. The distance time graph for non-uniform motion is non-linear. This is because in non-uniform speed, a body travels unequal distance in equal intervals of time. So it will be curved. So you can see in the slide also, children. First slide you saw that straight line, linear. In the second slide you can see that it is a non-uniform speed. That's why the graph is curved. Okay. So this is about a distance time graph. Next is velocity time graph. Okay, so velocity time graph is also known as a speed time graph. Time is plotted on x-axis and speed is plotted on y-axis. A straight horizontal line on a speed time means that speed is constant, does not change over time. Okay, so this graph shows increasing speed. The moving object is accelerating. The change in the velocity of a body with time can be represented on the velocity time graph. So in the slide you can see that in the graph, velocity is taken on the y-axis and time is taken on the x-axis. If a body moves with uniform velocity, the graph will be a straight line parallel to the x-axis. So this is because velocity does not change with the time. So determine the distance traveled by the body between the points A and B with velocity 20 km per hour. So you can substitute the value. So V is equal to S upon T. S is nothing but the distance and the T is nothing but the time taken. But we have to find out distance here. So velocity is given. So S is equal to V into T. So V is nothing but the 20 km per hour. Okay, T is T2 minus T1. So when you substitute the value, you will get the area of rectangle ABCD. That is a velocity time graph. Okay. If a body whose velocity is increasing with the time, the graph is a straight line having a increasing slope. You can see in the slide, children. So this is because the velocity increases by equal amounts with the equal intervals of time. That is means uniform. So the area under the velocity time graph is the distance, magnitude of the displacement of the body. So distance traveled by a body between the points A and E is the area A, B, C, D, E under the velocity time graph. You can see in the slide. Okay, this is how we calculate the velocity time graph. Okay children, in the next video I am going to start with the other topics. Okay, thank you.